Okay, I get it. Enough with the cuckoo, or whatever you want to call it. Stick around. I have something to say about this movie. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Little Paul of Horrors. I am so happy. I am so happy that I was able to reach my goal thanks to all the people who watched my channel, who watched my previous review on Trap. Thank you so very much. You helped me attain that goal. I'm at 102 right now, so that extra 2 made it, I just made me feel so good. So thank you again. Thank you so very much. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for subscribing. And for those people who haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's free. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to inform. So again, thank you for your eyeballs. Thank you for everything again. And thank you for helping me achieve my goal. Now, the new goal is let's see if we can go up to 200. I think we can. I think we can do that. I think it can go up to 200. So the more subscribers, the more eyeballs, the more that you share this program and this channel with, it will be my pleasure to be there for you guys and to give you my honest, opinionated reviews about horror movies. So again, thank you and welcome. Today's review is going to be a little bit different. I recently watched the movie Cuckoo, and it was exactly that. It was more like kind of like that. Now, before we go any further, because I have something to say about the type of movie. So let's get started. The movie again is called Cuckoo, and it was directed by Tillman Singer, and it stars Hunter Schafer as Gretchen. Then we have Jan Bluthard as Henry. We have Martin Chokas as Lewis, and then Jessica Henwick as Beth, and Dan Stevens as Herr Koenig. Now, let's get to what I thought about this movie. This is, to me, or was a movie that I felt is one of these new age horror movies. Was it scary? Yes. Was it terrifying? Yes. Did it make sense? I don't know. I watched this movie constantly trying to figure out what the premise of this movie was. I understood the story behind the movie, but it was so convoluted. There was so much information being thrown at you. There were so many ideas that were being expressed on screen that it had no fluidity to it. There was no linear understanding of what the purpose of this movie was, because there were so many underlying external and internal variables that cause you to go, what's the word that I think it's like, huh? Something like that. It was one movie that I can honestly say was way too much. The script itself, I think if you would read it on a personal level, you could think about what, or you could imagine in your head what the story is about, right? Like everybody has their own understanding of the concept of something. So with regards to books, with regards to scripts, even with regards to, movies, when you're watching them, you will have your own response and understanding to them. This one was as if the director took their understanding of the movie and try to
Cram it down your throat.
it's like you're
You're gonna understand it this way.
and that doesn't work for me. It reminded me of, when you were, or if you are still in high school, or sorry, if you're in high school, or if you're in college or university. Now, when I was back in, those days, it's like when you had a class and a professor just bombarded you with so much information that you were like trying to keep up and you had no idea where he began and where he ended. That's what this movie felt like to me. So I can't give it a positive review and I can't give it a negative review. I can only say that for me, as a person, as a spectator who was watching this, who was present, and then listening to and hearing my own reactions to the movie while I was watching the movie, and then listening to other people and other spectators in the crowd while they were watching the movie, and then leaving and after it was done, and then leaving and overhearing individuals and their response to this movie and having a conversation with a person who was at the movie as well or who watched the movie just made me feel that there was too much information. Like new age horror, I find has a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's could have a really good storyline to it. Like I'll give you a good example, like Hereditary. Hereditary was a fantastic movie because it had a linear understanding to it. It was very much in your face. It followed a track, and it was genuinely scary. Then you have movies like Midsummer, which are really, really out there, but at the same time, still provoke you to ask questions, but still have an understanding of what this is all about. You know what Midsummer is about when you watch the movie. You don't need to, or at least I did, and people who with whom I've spoken about Midsummer. But this movie, I'm at a loss. Way too much. If I could boil it down to something as simple, to make it simple for individuals to maybe have a better concept before they go inside there, to have at least a base to understand what this movie's about. From what I took away from this was that it had to do with science, evolution, human behavior, and control. And how a specific species, which in this movie is the
Cuckoo bird,
Wow.
or cuckoo bird,
plays into the movie and how it affects the movie, which I found okay, I guess. It was just way too out there for me as a horror movie. Like, the creature that you see, which is a person, is genuinely scary. But there's too many, I find, shots of pulsating pulses on the neck. There are too many shots of screaming and of flutes being played. And this diabolical, plan to create something, and how, nature and evolution come into play within the storyline. It just went on and on. And I just felt that Gretchen, who was played by Hunter Schafer, great job. Like, I really liked her character development. Like, her character was really good. She nailed it. She did a great job. I have no qualms with her performance. It's just the movie was really... I can't even... I've been removed from this movie for a bit, I would say for maybe 12, 13, 14 hours now. And it's been in my head like a splinter, like just digging itself inside. Because keep on asking myself, what was this movie about? I think this movie needs to be watched a couple of more times to really get the gist of it. And that's what I find is its downfall, or is it's the downside, not the downfall, but the downside of this movie is that it tries so hard to explain what it's about on the silver screen to get that story out that it falls apart. It just falls apart. And it's a shame. Because this movie, as I think a lot of movies can have potential, or this movie could have had potential, but it was just so far out there. It's really like an X-Files episode jammed with lots of steroids, mixed in with some type of illegal drug, and Adderall. That's how I can best explain this movie. And myself, I'm not a fan of It Follows, but I would say that It Follows makes a lot more sense than this movie. And that's saying a lot because I'm not at all a fan of that movie, of It Follows, at all. I think if you guys gone and go watch my review. It is on this channel of It Follows. I am not a fan of this movie, but I'll honestly tell you that It Follows made more sense to me when I make a comparison to this movie. This movie just was so gone. It feels like you're caught in a whirlwind of too many ideas being expressed at the same time. That's how I feel. Now, it's relatively short, this review, because I couldn't bring myself to say more about this movie because there's just so much. There is just so much in this movie to break down that it would take, for me at least, I would think, a lot longer than half an hour, which is usually my runtime on my videos. So what I could leave you is with this. And it's probably going to be short and simple. And maybe sometimes within videos, you need that. And in reviews. I could leave you with this. Go and watch it and tell me, please, come back, leave comments down below, and please tell me your thoughts on this idea, on this movie. And maybe there could, and hopefully there could be a dialogue that takes place. If you've already watched the movie, tell me what you think this movie was about. If you agree with me of what the concept I thought of it being, if it's correct as the way you saw it, because with the person whom I had the conversation with afterwards, they saw it in a different light, but they were still confused. You're left very much confused because there's just so much going on. It's just so much. Like, it starts off well, but then it just goes right off the rails. It just does. It goes right off the rails. So, Tillman Singer, I believe that you read the script, had an idea in your head, and tried to cram this down the viewer's throat of how you saw this, which I think this should not have been made into a movie. I think this would have been better not to have been made into a movie. Now, people might disagree. That's fine. If you've watched this movie and you've liked it, that's fine too. As I mentioned below, as I mentioned before, leave a comment down below. Please tell me what you think. I know that this is a short review, but I can't, in all fairness and in all honesty, give a review on something that still makes me question, what the fuck did I just watch? Anyway, again, leave your comments down below. It's a fairly short video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down. Please like, subscribe, and share the show. And again, I am not telling you not to watch this movie. I am not telling you to watch this movie. Make your decision, because I don't want to give a review on a movie that was just way too much. Did I enjoy it? To a certain degree, yes. But then afterwards, no. Like, that's my own take. And maybe I just need some more time to view it like I did with It Follows. I had to watch it a couple of times to make up my mind. But that was then. And again, this is going to be a now type of thing. And I'm going to wait. I'm not going to spend money to watch this again. I'll wait. Hopefully it comes out on a streaming platform that I could watch it maybe for free or at a decreased price. But again, it is one of those WTF movies. It is. That I can almost guarantee you. 99.9%. Again, thank you for visiting. Thank you for helping me raise my numbers. Hopefully continue spreading and letting other people know about what the show is, that the show is there. Like, subscribe, and share, as I mentioned before. And subscribe. It's there. I'm here. And hopefully, with regards to this observational reaction to the movie, will give you some insight on whether you would like to go watch it or not. And if you do, at least have a base of an understanding of it. So then you could see how far it goes. And again, comments, leave them down below, the comments there. So again, until next time, guys, enjoy the show.